When I started in this business, there were two people I had in my viewfinder. One name was Paul Goodnight, and the other one was this man right here, Charles Bibbs.
Well, thanks
so along the way, I've learned from all of his pluses and negatives. He's shared all of them with me, and I've taken time to see which one of those things to implement and what my plan is going to be. And we're always sitting down trying to figure out how to better service this business. So here we are here at the African American Museum here in Los Angeles, so I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, well, you deserve everything that has been attributed to you, okay? As an aggressive businessman and as a profound artist, and I am honored to be called your friend. I am very
best friend.
Best friend.
That's my best friend. Yeah. I don't know about his best friend. He's my best friend.
Well, let's also talk a little bit about the art. There are some similarities. They're distinct. You guys share techniques.
Yeah, I think there's an attitude about our work that's similar. I think our work has definitely, he's captured his own personality in his work just like I have. But when we come together, we've managed to find similarities that I can't even explain how it happens. But it's a subconscious connection that we have, and the same with Cynthia's work.
Yeah.
You know,
it happens a lot. I've been fortunate enough the last 5 years to have worked closely with him on a couple of projects. So naturally, we stare over his shoulder, and next thing you know, I could use that, I could use this, but we still manage somehow to keep our own individual identity. I know my work has definitely changed, and I can pinpoint the biggest change in my work is probably 1995 when I had my studio fire, because at that point a lot of my works were very realistic. I worked from my own photographs, and after that point I started working from my imagination. So I began to deal with movement, simplicity of form and color, and exaggerated forms like hands and feet like Charles uses. So we do have that in common, but our work has a lot of distinct differences. Our color palettes are different. He does mostly females. I do a mixture of males and females. So, but it's still fun to be inspired by each other.
We came up with this concept called quarantine, where we isolated ourselves for 30 days, okay, with each other and maybe one other artist.
Yes.
And this process was all about what are the things that we can do if we're subjected to being with each other, you know, 8 hours a day or 24 hours a day.
Right.
Okay.
How would that influence our work?
What's going to rub off? What attributes I have that's going to rub off to him, and what attributes his artistic attributes that he has is going to rub off on me. And we worked this experiment.
And it was a wonderful experiment.
Great.
Yeah,
it was a great experiment.
I think it's the first time any artist in this contemporary market has had the opportunity to work together for 30 straight days. The first quarantine we did, we ended up calling the creative quarantine. We actually locked ourselves away in his cabana behind his house, and we just painted all day long, round the clock. Talked about the business, our struggles, our relationships. We talked about everything, but the whole time we're doing this, we working. And it's amazing. The first one we did, I think we might have produced 100 pieces.
At least
in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks. In 3 weeks. And I had to give him hats off because I was truly quarantined. I was away from home. No phone. He had to still work with his wife. He had to work with the business. He had to work with this and that. So I know it was wonderful. So last year we celebrated our 3rd year doing it. We started adding other artists the 2nd year, and so we don't know quite how we're going to handle it.
That was an experience, but we got through it.
Are you masters? Let's talk about that.
All right, are we masters? I don't think we feel personally that we're masters yet. The public can judge that and make that distinction, and we're not going to interfere with that. But if you ask Poncho, you ask me, have we arrived yet? No, we got a lot of improvements to make. We got a lot of things that we want to do before even us. I don't think I'm going to call myself a master until I can barely get around. As long as I can still paint, I'm in the game. See, masters.
Well, I mean, it's a title that people can give you.
To be a master?
No.
No, you don't have to be a dead, but in my situation, I'm 15 years or so younger than Charles, so I'm definitely not in that zone. But I am witnessing right now the next generation of legends, because the older legends are beginning to pass away and die off. We got certain artists that replace that category, and so naturally, the ones that are leading this contemporary market are going to be the people that are going to get that title. I usually let the public decide on that one, but no, I don't consider myself to be a master, and I don't think with our ideology that we would ever do that.
All that comes is psychological, because you can probably convince yourself that you've done all you can. But see, I solemnly believe that as long as you got breath, there's greater things that you can do. Okay, and as long as we're growing, as long as we're improving, then we're still in the making.
I think that's another side of this too that people don't get, and it's that most of the artists that I work with on this contemporary level are very, very humble people, and they really function with humility. So none of them, I don't think, would label themselves as a master. You got some that would do it today, but we're not that crop. We let the public decide, and we'll be too busy working to notice.
It's a judgment call. So, if you're going to be judged, it's better to have other people judge you, and rather than you judge yourself.
Yeah, be judged by your deeds and not by your title. I mean, titles really don't mean a whole lot. I mean, the bottom line is that if people could live the day in the life of what we actually do, not just with our personal work, but what we do for other people, they would be probably mesmerized. I think that that's one thing that I talk about in the third party. I can tell you how much this man devotes time to the community and his philanthropic goals. I mean, because that's something you don't hear about, But he wouldn't brag about it.
Nope.
This is like when he gives me my props, And that's the respect line is something that you see exercised quite readily in this market.
Right.
So,
and see, what keeps me going. What keeps me going is other people's assessment of what I've done. That's the only thing that encourages me and keeps me going. Now, if they label me a master, so be it. But that's not going to be something that's going to say, well, I've made it and now I can just rest. No. I'm going to continue to pursue perfection until the day I die.
And this is a man who's been on the top of our market for 10 years straight. 10 years straight. And probably I would hinder to say longer. So, I mean, I respect him for his humility. But we're judged on what we do and what we do next.
Well, let me ask this. What is your basic style?
Technically, if you break his style down and you break my style down, technically, without looking at the work, it's the same. We are creative people. We branch out from what you consider normality.
Yeah.
We try to create something that's different.
We both have a figurative outlook on things, so we're probably going to take a figurative approach to how we start our work.
It's an interpretation.
Yeah.
We interpret life instead of trying to duplicate it.
Right.
And I think I can't put it any other way.